And now I'd like to invite Kevin Frediani, who is the curator of Dandy Botanic Garden.
Yep. Thank you very much. Can I just check that you can see the screen? Because it's gone blank there. And forgive me if there's a slight delay. It seems that my computer might be playing off, so you might have to cut me off. But what I'm going to present to you is a potential case study. That's a long-standing water treatment project that was first implemented in 2003 to 2006 when I was then curator of the plants at ZSL. And that's a story I want to introduce you to and then bring you up. There are a couple of caveats. I don't represent ZSL today. I have reached out to them and asked for an update on where the project is, but the key players have either moved on or are on leave at the moment. But they've both intimated that they'd like to support a case study coming forward. And the other thing is that everything I'm going to share with you is in the public domain, and there are hyperlinks, and I'll share this slideshow afterwards. Oh, yeah, this is where it's freezing, so forgive me. So the background is the project began in 2003. It had a 3-year phased project of water improvements that sought to link up not only the surface water that was being captured on site for each of the exhibits, but to clean up a number of failures that were being highlighted by the regulatory authority as contaminating groundwater in an important aquifer over the Chilterns area of outstanding natural beauty. For those of you who don't know, it's one of the most important chalk aquifers in southeast England. There, in 2003, when I arrived, part of my remit was to support a team undertaking a systematic environmental review. It included a biodiversity action plan for Whipsnade, and it highlighted that we were failing in certain areas and that we could improve our own mission work by thinking locally while acting or acting locally while thinking globally. And that included our own management operations and inputs and outputs that came into that system. In terms of this was reinforced significantly when the environmental agency pointed out that our discharge consent was at risk because we were on the top of this chalk aquifer and we were potentially causing pollution. At that time, we'd also implemented the ISO 14001 to support the ZSL mission. For those of you who don't know, Whipsnade forms part of Chalk Downlands, a very important wildflower meadow. It represents 1% of the remaining, not in entirety. There's only 1% of this wildflower meadow left in the UK. Since the Second World War, it's all been put under the plough and lost. So very important habitat as well as an important water source. I should say as well that the aquifer that it sits over the above feeds into both the Thames with surface water and streams that come off lower down when they hit the perched water table of clay, but also they feed into discharges, extraction, that feed into local towns and into Greater London itself. So a very important point of water. Phase 1 included installation of underground tanks, attenuation ponds, reed beds, and extensive pipework across the 600-acre, which is about 350 hectare site. Landscaping that not only allowed us to hide those things as part of an immersive landscaping approach, but also where possible, highlight to the public that these features have been put in and work they were doing. The Phase 2 included linking 4 interlocked ponds, moats which replaced fences around the new chimpanzee enclosure that I helped develop to feed into the existing hippos enclosure, and those attenuation ponds across the site improved the amenity. You can see them in the right-hand picture there. And this also included putting in 10 beds of Phragmites as part of a recycling system for the water quality, which would not only help with the flow, but polishing and recirculating the water that came through afterwards. And the final process was with the elephants, which required its own treatment plant, where screening of wastewater was drawn from the pools. It was then put through a packaging treatment plant that screened the water, and then finally entered those same reed beds into a soakaway. It's actually more of a pit, and then recirculated back through those ponds on site, and resulting in significant reduction in water, potable water use on site as well. There is a really nice online site that you can go to from the partners who are involved in the project, where they show the outputs and inputs to the project. But the major outcomes from it was an upgraded system that was compliant with environmental agency requirements, maximized water recovery, energy efficiency, and the treatments that were taken with nature-based solutions, but also native species habitats on site, which was really welcome for that immersive landscape. Importantly, for those that we serve in terms of the wider community, there was no contamination of that Chiltern aquifer, and it helped protect one of the most important habitats that we have in the UK to look after, which is our chalk streams. I noticed, in terms of just picking up in the most recent time, just prior to COVID, there had been some need for upgrading the system. It was on the verge of becoming non-compliant in its discharges. That's been updated, and they're now on target and on track. And there is another series of upgrades which hopefully could feed into a really nice case study to share with you at a later date. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Amazing work. Are there some questions here?
Maybe the package treatment for the elephants that it was mentioned, but we have no idea. If can you explain a little bit?
I can't share too much information on that. I wasn't actually involved in that technical side. I have reached out to each of the companies involved and all the partners at the time, because I've kept good relationships with them, and I've asked if they can update with me. So I'm hoping to share a document with you in about a month's time, which should capture what exactly went on, what was implemented, and therefore you'll have that with specifications from pumps to the treatments in those packing plants.
Is there some sanitation included also in the system?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't shown you the flow diagrams. They're not in the public domain, and without authority, I didn't feel that was comfortable to do so, but they are there. Like I said, once I've got that, I hope to share that with you with more information.
Yeah, it would be great, because this is always in discussion how to sanitate properly the water, which is circulating. So this is something what.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, great.